The year is almost over and the best season is soon to begin. It's a time of festivities, happiness, and family. What we love this season for, however, isn't any of that. It's simply the fact that a new season is here that will bring us lots of new shows to enjoy. That is why for today, we will be talking about the upcoming anime of winter 2025. So before we begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button and press on that bell icon and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos. And with that, let's dive in. Winter just wouldn't feel the same if it didn't include the return of our favorite badass monarch. He is here to stay, and Season 2 will be as spectacular as the previous one. And of course, I'm talking about Solo Leveling Season 2. Starting off with a bang, we are mentioning the arguably most anticipated and loved anime on the list. After the great success of Season 1 and all the aspects of the show, from the choreography to the battles, the music, and of course the top-notch animation, Season 2 was bound to happen while the hype train still had fuel in it, am I right? Well, Sun Jin-woo, just like the great Vegeta, and I quote, "I am the hype." And we all can agree that this guy that was once an E-ranker is on his way to Hype Town. And nothing, I mean nothing, is going to stand in his way anytime soon. And if they did, well, he'll just add them to the collection, I suppose. One of the greatest sagas and adventures is coming to an end. An end that will satisfy some, leave some baffled, and annoy some others. The restoration of humanity and the return of civilization is imminent, and closer than we think, with Senko and the gang finally finding the last key component they needed. However, acquiring this component won't be easy at all. But as we know with science and knowledge, nothing is a big obstacle. Dr. Stone's science future, well, it has been quite the journey with Senko and the company, but alas, good things must come to an end eventually. After the announcement of the 4th season of Dr. Stone, a sad piece of information was revealed as well. This information stated that sadly this is the final season of Dr. Stone. However, the good part is that this season will be divided into 3 parts, which means that we will have enough time on our hands to enjoy the show and give it the farewell it deserves. Senko this time is off to the American continent along with Usui, Chrome, Gen, and all the gang in hopes of finding the infamous corn of that land and using it to create an infinite supply of the miracle serum to cure everyone from the stoning and free them from their torment in that stone husk. And up next we have the Apothecary Diary Season 2. An imperial court for the onlookers seems like the greatest life of luxury anyone can ask for or even dream of. However, in reality, an imperial court is nothing but a den of snakes hoping to take out one another by any means necessary, in order to gain power and secure the throne, all for themselves. However, just how a snake secretes poison, it is also its medicine. And that is where our dear Mao Mao and Jinshi come into play, as they return for the 2nd season of the show, solving unexplainable mysteries, curing the ill and discovering who is the snake hiding behind those incidents this time and pluck off its head for good. The stakes are higher and a plethora of new characters is joining in on the story, so it is bound to get chaotic. Knowing Mao Mao though, we can all guarantee that she will be uncovering the mysteries, hiding behind every door and making sure that evildoers get their punishment. The luckiest and most blessed guy in anime strikes yet again. A guy so damn lucky he puts Issei's harem to shame. Of course, I'm talking none other than the 100 girlfriends who really love you. Season 2. I swear this guy just went ahead and hogged off all the luck of this generation, the next generation, and the next after that. Cause just how damn lucky can someone be? First, he gets 2 of the hottest girls as his girlfriends in high school on his very first day. Oh, you think I was done? Far from it, my friends. This lucky bastard doesn't settle for just 2, however, he goes off to entangle 3 more girls, making a total of 5 girlfriends that each love him and almost worship him at a certain level without a care in the world that he is 5-timing them. That was all in Season 1, mind you. This time, however, this bastard is unhappy with the girls he has and the daughter, so he goes for the freaking mother. And guess what? She fell for him too. And as if that wasn't awkward enough, being his 6th girlfriend along with her daughter, this woman was so damn rich, she went and bought the entire school. The school that he was in just to be its chairman and stay close to him all day long. What's next? Tsunade leaves Naruto to become his girlfriend as well. One thing I am sure of though, this season is gonna be hella absurd and hilarious. And up next we have My Happy Marriage Season 2. Like any normal marriage, there will come a time that couples mostly will hate, but it's a necessity. The time to meet the in-laws. Well, this anime isn't any different. Sayamori Mio has suffered a lot in her life, and it seems like her suffering is just about getting started. Finally, they are going to meet her in-laws, the prestigious Kudo family. This visit is going to be anything but fun, however. Right off the bat, like a monster-in-law, the mother of Kyoka tries to make the life of Mio a living hell, treating her like a maid in that mansion of theirs, and as if she didn't have her hands full, he showed up, out of nowhere, and by he, I mean her abusive father that abandoned her years ago. The audacity of some people, man. Well, let's just hope that Mio is up for the challenges coming her way and is able to manage with all the obstacles these two are going to be throwing at her. And up next, we have Unmanned Memory Act 2. Yet another gem of a light novel that was ruined purely to its poor adaptation and rushing the story. The studio did so knowing fully well that another season was already greenlit too, something that invoked the wrath of all the light novel fans. Honestly, it's kinda understandable. However, if you forget all those problems with the adaptation and pacing, the anime is actually a pretty cool fantasy romance anime. The show even has quite the world building. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but it's still decently fair. Season 2 is here now, and let's just hope the studio learned from their mistakes. Because honestly, at this point, I don't have any idea how they're still lucrative. Oh well, Oscar and Tinashe's romance and gimmicks might have to carry the season around as well. After all, the romance is the best thing in this anime, and let's just have our fingers crossed that they don't butcher that as well. Now the friendly loving spirit is back, and this time a bigger mystery than him will be revealed in the school. Are you all ready for it? It's Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Season 2. Based on the manga of the same name, Jibaku Shonen Hanako-kun is a supernatural school story detailing events at Kamome Academy, a school shrouded by 7 mysteries. Among these mysteries is one about an entity named Hanako, where a rumor goes around that they will grant a wish for the right price. A plot twist reveals that Hanako is actually a boy, after being summoned by a girl named Nene Yashiro. And that's not all. She becomes his personal assistant in... what, you ask? Well, in exercising spirits, of course, and working on keeping the delicate balance between mortals and spirits. The show is divided into many story arcs, and backed in COVID Season 1 was only 12 episodes. And we just couldn't have enough from the gimmicks, pranks, and the relation Hanako and Nene soon built together. And now, finally, after 4 years, 5, the show is finally back for its second season, and boy, is it gonna be a ride. The animation from the trailer is still as unique as we remember it, and just as good. The art style so far has been paying tribute to the manga it is adapted from, and for their sake, let's hope they don't change a thing. Cause I'm seriously sick and tired by now from studios changing the manga thinking it's a good idea. Well bro, damn the irony in the series, it's just golden. But just imagine the person you fight with all day is the one you get married to. I mean, if that's not irony and fate playing its worst hand on you, I don't know what is. I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. Well, I think that kind of explains everything, but anywho, every season just has to have a shoujo bait here and there, and for this season, I think we found our perfect bait. Comedy? Check. Romance? Check. Main characters married, hating each other? Check. Yeah, for those of you wondering, as the title clearly states, these two individuals just hate each other in school with a freaking passion. They're always fighting and bickering between one another to the point they are almost like an old married couple. Funny enough, these two end up, by some twist of fate, actually married to one another, even though they hate each other's guts. Living under one roof and learning the habits of one another, however, will be a great way for them to get closer to each other and finally fall in love. And hey, if you're not here for the love part, well, I guess you are in luck, my friend, since they now spend their day at school and now at home. That means they will be bickering and fighting one another 24/7. And there will be no shortage of the drama or the comedy, and especially the romance, anytime soon. Now up next we have Phantom Trigger the animation. Okay, riddle me this, guys. What is better and sexier than hot girls? Huh? Come on. You give up? Okay, well, it's hot girls. With guns, of course. 5 of them, specifically. The girls are back in the series' 4th installment ever since the first installment, and this series was on a roll. getting fans giving us amazing fights and a cooler plot, that's for sure. Especially the girls on the show. I mean, the creator of this crew deserves the highest raise. Just chef's kiss. Yeah, they might be the usual anime girl stereotypes, but I'll be damned if those girls don't do a great job at portraying their personalities. This sequel is going to offer a lot of fights and even more action, something that is to be expected by a Grisea sequel, and as the fans of the show, we won't accept anything less than that. And up next we have Ishura Season 2. The death of the Demon Lord sure is one heck of an impactful event for a world to go through, and his death sure would leave a power vacuum in its place with all kinds of mystical entities and beasts competing for the rank of Demon King. And of course, causing a decent amount of havoc in the world and destruction comes with the job description. That's why our heroes fought in Season 1, and now they are back for Round 2 with new characters being introduced and new enemies as well. And while before the enemies were straightforward, this one seems to be quite elusive and resourceful, using the shadows, winds, and illusions to hide itself from the eyes of the onlookers. I bet that's where their shrewd detective role comes in. It's nice to leave the hacking and slashing aside a bit and delve into some mental gymnastics and mysteries. That always tickles my fancy. It is quite the change of pace that I bet a lot are going to love and enjoy this season. Now up next we also have Medaka Koroiwa is impervious to my charms. I swear, I'll never understand when people fawn over girls day in and day out and treat them like queens. I mean, they hate you. This girl is called Mona Kawai. I mean, she literally has kawaii in her name, but anyway, this girl has a charm that could make stone turn to marshmallow, and everyone just loves how cute and adorable she is. And she knows that, and is proud of it beyond thoughts. However, this main character couldn't care less about her charms or her cutesy attitude. Despite all her efforts to charm him, nothing works with that guy. And this is driving her crazy and up a wall, desperate to get a reaction out of him. She even resorted to using her physical allure on him. Of course, that doesn't work either, but it was worth a shot. The plot twist here is that he is in training to become a monk, so such worldly desires are beneath him, and he should repress. Now she sees that as a challenge and won't rest till she breaks his resolve. Too bad for her, she will fall for him before he even smiles back at her. Now up next we have Ubel Blat. Nothing better to kick off the new year and the winter season than with a cold-hearted story of betrayal and murder. 14 youths sent to end the war in the name of the king with the neighboring nation fought hard and won a tough victory, earning the peace they sought for their kingdom. However, such a happy ending is just too boring, right? I mean, where's the action? Where's the drama? That's probably what you guys are wondering by now, and you are right to do so. After all, the main character is accused falsely of being a traitor, has his eye gouged by his friend, his body torn up with his once ally's blades, and left there for dead to rot and decompose. Well, that's one hell of a betrayal, I'll give you that. Well, you see, our main character had other plans, and he didn't have lunch that day, so in desperation, he ate a fairy as he was dying, which ironically healed him, but changed his appearance completely into a feminine young fairy. Tough luck for him, I guess, maybe. Now the wielder of the Black Blade is seeking his killers one by one and plucking them out like a weed. You can be damn sure that this series will be action-packed, and what is better is that it has even cooler animations and better character development. Honestly, this kinda seems like it's going to be trending this season. And up next we have Zenshu. Sometimes as we sit and watch the cool animations, fights, the warm emotional scenes, the lovey-dovey scenes, we forget who are actually behind the stage drawing and creating these scenes for our enjoyment and entertainment. And this anime is here to remind us of those amazing people that are highly underappreciated and underpaid. This anime revolves around the story of an up-and-coming animator become director and having success on her first ever work released. Now, however, she is delving into the romance genre with a first love kind of scenario for a movie, something that she has absolutely no clue about whatsoever, since she never had a first love or any prior romantic experience in the first place. She is practically stumped and has no idea how to go and where to go with this movie, and we will be watching her let out her frustrations and finding a way to make the movie with an actually cool and alluring story. And up next here we have Okitsura, Young Love. I can still recall how good that felt back in the days. One of the greatest feelings anyone can have, I'll tell you what. and this main character is just starting to experience it. Teruaki Nakamura transferred to Okinawa not so long ago, and the last thing he expected to find there was love. Love for a girl he can't even understand because of her dialect too. I mean, they literally have a third mutual friend that has a crush on Teruaki, by the way, but hides it, to go around with them and translate everything for Nakamura that Hina says. I'd call this a love triangle, but the problem seems like Hina is totally into another guy. Something that is driving Nakamura crazy. So on one side, he likes Hina, and Higa likes him. When Hina likes no one, yeah, I'll tell you what, that's not a recipe for disaster at all, right? Well, let's just hope that when all of this is over, the characters won't have their hands on one another's throats, and no, I don't mean it in the kinky way, you dirty-minded freaks. Up next, we have Welcome to Japan, Ms. Elf. Talk about dreams coming true. One moment you're sleeping, escaping reality, imagining you are adventuring in a different world, and the next you wake up and the girl from those dreams and fantasies is sleeping next to you. Half naked, I might add. This main character just went along, did absolutely nothing, and got rewarded for it with one of the hottest elves that he has ever seen in his life. What kind of reverse isekai is this? I have so many questions now that the first thing being, how do I do... Never mind. So anyway, the elf is reverse isekai to his world, and they both seem excited about that. So, good for them, I guess. And now the main character is out touring Japan with her, living the life, laughing, sightseeing, and falling in love with her in the real world. If you excuse me, I'm gonna go cry real quick. And up next, we have Someday Will I Be the Greatest Alchemist? Another one of those given a useless power from the gods but is actually broken kind of anime. I swear I have nothing against this series per se, but after the plot is repeated for the hundredth time, it kinda gets boring. And, in my case, a little annoying. But anywho, maybe this one has something different. His main character was summoned by mistake thought to be a hero. As a compensation from the goddess, she allowed him to pick any power he wants. And somehow, by sheer luck and coinkydink, this guy struck the mother of all jackpots by choosing the power of creation. With the power, you can create anything, and simply put, imagination is the limit in this power's case. So of course he becomes a wealthy, powerful merchant, cause why the heck not, am I right? And even though he wanted nothing to do with battle and being a hero, he ends up creating a party of remarkably powerful allies and sets out on adventures with them in hopes of becoming the greatest alchemist to ever live. It's a cliche of all cliches, but still I'll give the series the benefit of the doubt and use the 3-episode technique just in case. And up next we have Akuyaku Reijo Tensei Oji-san. I swear, after all the crazy kinds and ideas anime has been adapting for the last few years, nothing surprises me anymore. And this applies to the plot of the show as well. A 52-year-old man is reincarnated into the villainess of an otome game his daughter used to play. This guy just couldn't find a worse role for him to be in than the villainess of the story, since he is nowhere near being as evil and haughty as that girl should be. And all that is thanks to his rigorous years working as a civil servant in Japan of all places, and he is gonna try his best. However, to keep his role and advance the game as it should, we all already know that he is gonna botch that part so hard. And up next we have I Am Behemoth of the S-rank monster, but I am mistaken as a cat and I live as a pet of Elf Girl. Wow. I gotta say, the plot is strong in this one. This anime, as the title clearly explained it, well, it's about a guy that reincarnated into a behemoth. And in this world, behemoths are S-rank based with unparalleled power and might. One problem though, he looks like a tiny, defenseless, and powerless kitten that gets adopted by a busty elf warrior. I mean, it's not like he is even slightly angered or annoyed by his new accommodations as a member of the party of some of the hottest girls out there. Oh gosh. But still, he is trying to regain his power and unlock the abilities this behemoth potential of his hides. And anywho, on to the next one, we have Headhunted to Another World, from Salaryman to Big 4. Imagine this, a regular salaryman just trying to get through his 9 to 5 and suddenly finds himself into a fantastical setting, but instead of being a hero, he's armed with nothing but his office skills and a briefcase full of determination. Oh, and did I mention he is working for the Demon King as one of his 4 high generals? Expect plenty of laugh out loud moments as Taro tackles the challenges of being a salaryman in a realm where magic reigns supreme. Can he turn his mundane skills into something extraordinary? You bet he can, and this is one of those shows that I will be watching this season and enjoying to the max. And up next we have the Unfavorable Job Appraiser is actually the strongest. In a world where adventurers are celebrated for their strength, our protagonist, Kale, gets stuck with the seemingly dull job of an appraiser. But don't let that title fool you now. Kale's abilities are about to shatter every stereotype out there. His ability isn't as others think it is, as it has a great ability of appraisal, analyzing, and enhancing any equipment out there. In wars, the sharper the blade and sturdier armor is what makes the difference between a victory and a loss. It is the age of the underdogs and time to show the gods and everyone that ever made fun of his talents that it doesn't matter what talent you possess. Now we move on to Magic Maker, how to create magic in another world. Now, imagine being transported to a vibrant fantasy world where magic is all around you. Our hero, Haru, finds himself in just that situation. But instead of being gifted with powerful spells, he's just a regular guy who has to invent his own magic from scratch. That's right, Haru uses his creativity and intellect to craft spells and magical tools, turning ordinary items into extraordinary wonders. With each episode, we'll see him experiment, fail, and ultimately succeed in ways that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And coming close to the end, we have Failure Skill Nut Master. It became now possible to eat as many skill fruits as you want. With each fruit he devours, Riku gains extraordinary abilities, transforming him from an underdog into a powerhouse. Now imagine being able to mix and match skills at will, from super strength to elemental magic. The possibilities are just endless. Okay, I might have gone a bit far with my excitement for the show, so just allow me to explain. In the case of this world, skills do grow on trees. And I know that it said nut master, but it's definitely not what you think. They're just nuts. Anywho, they grow on trees, and thanks to the useless ability called Nut Master, Riku is able to consume any fruit and the skill it possesses, infinitely. Yeah, you heard me right, I didn't stutter. Infinitely. So potentially he could become easily one of the strongest, if not the strongest being in his world. And I will go to an even bigger stretch. He could potentially become the strongest in anime, even stronger than Featherine and Akuto to Sai if he consumes just enough fruits. Just imagine the possibilities. And finally, we have Sakamoto Days. I guess the long-lost brother of the coach from Slam Dunk has been finally found. Sakamoto Taro, the former greatest hitman in the world, gave up that life he was once living for love and decided to settle down with his wife, laying low and living a normal life as a convenience store clerk. Honestly, kind of sounds like John Wick, just without him becoming a store clerk. However, you don't get into such a life without making a lot of enemies in that time. And now that past is back to haunt him. Barred from killing, he is going to have to get creative in ways to subdue his enemies and end their pursuit of him. Will he manage? Will he go back to his old ways? No one really knows. And that, my friends, is the ultimate winter season list of anime for 2025. Thank you all so much for watching this video and enjoying it as much as I had a blast making it for you guys. And for that, I wonder, what anime are you looking forward to this season? Comment down below, and don't forget to like, share, and definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.